What's up, everyone? This is Randall from Code Noobs, and today's video we're going to be taking a look at V0, which is the Next.js AI specific for Next.js built by Vercel, which helps you to build projects in Next, which is a React framework, which is a JavaScript framework, which is something that you need to know if you want to get hired as a web developer these days. And the coolest thing is V0 pretty much does it all for you. So we're going to explore V0 today, take a look at a few projects that might help build out your portfolio website, maybe a few projects for your portfolio website, and not only build them for you, but then you can come back, you can code them yourself, you can ask questions to V0 and help learn exactly what you need to know to be a next generation web developer for Next. So, before we get started, the V0 can be found at v0.dev, and to help get some ideas of projects that we could do with V0, head over to ChatGPT, another fun AI that we all like to use, and ask what are 5 portfolio projects every web developer should have on their portfolio website. So, a few suggestions: responsive multi-page website, full stack application, example eCommerce store, interactive web app, to-do list or task manager, API integration project, and personal portfolio website. So it looks like they get harder as they go towards the beginning, potentially, with the full stack web app probably being the hardest of these suggestions. So we'll start with a personal portfolio website. And we'll just head on over to Vercel. And we'll type here, create a modern portfolio website that catches the eye, and see what it returns. It says I'll create a modern portfolio website using React and Tailwind. You can see off it goes, already coding out the whole website with the imports, but you can also see there's a preview that forms for you, and as it's coding, the preview continues. But look at this, you have a gradient on your website, you have your name, you have what you do, and then if you scroll down, have your projects here. Look at this: project 1, project 2, project 3. Oh my goodness, you've done a lot of projects. You also have your skills, which with everything that you've learned at your bootcamp, so all 300 technologies you can put on top of there: React, Node, TypeScript, Python, Graph, Docker, AWS, Figma, contact form, all of that, and your buttons down here on the bottom. This looks like a pretty fantastic website for 2 seconds of coding with V0. Now, here's one thing to note. You could just take this, you could head on over, take this portfolio TSX, and use that as your website. But a better thing to do would likely be to code along with this code in something like VS Code and try and figure out exactly what everything does. So why this code here actually creates this website here. That'll help you learn. And then 2 things will happen. One, you'll have a pretty cool looking portfolio website completed and live online, but also you'll know how to create it. So if you do get that job interview, you'll be able to say, oh yeah, this is why this happens. These are the problems that I ran into. Yeah, sure, I actually do use AI to help me code, but it helps me become a better coder, and here's why. So that is suggestion 1 for V0, is create a portfolio website. Now the next one we're going to do is an API integration project. So build a weather forecast or news aggregator app that pulls data from public APIs and displays it in a user-friendly interface. Add filtering, sorting, and searching functionality. Wow, that sounds cool. So we will go and create a new chat. I'll paste this in there. Build weather. Build, and I like an eye-catching because I don't want some plain thing. There we go. Build an eye-catching weather forecast or news aggregator app that pulls data from public API and displays it in a user-friendly interface. Now this probably won't work right off the bat because as you can see here, you need to add your own API key, but you can go and find your Open Weather Map API key, put it in there, and then you get all of the data back. So we'll just let this run for a second, and eventually it should probably, oh, you can't preview components with API keys. Unfortunately, this one you'll actually have to go and figure out on your own, put an API key in there, and then run it. But you can sign up for a free API key with the Open Weather Map and replace your Open Weather Map API key with your actual API key, and then you can go and run this, and you have a weather app that gets you the weather. So that is project number 2 to code along with. We'll go on to project number 3, an interactive web app to-do list, the famous to-do list. Create a task manager or to-do list app that allows users to add, update, and delete tasks, add features such as filtering tasks by status or priority, and local storage to save data. So we will take this one, add a new chat, and give it a moment. I still want an eye-catching one. I don't want any boring stuff on my portfolio, you know what I'm saying? So V0 thinking, create an eye-catching task manager app. Here we go, task manager app. Wow. Holy cow. You can add your new task, you can give it a priority, and then you have all your tasks. You have your to-do, in progress, low priority. That was fast, and this is pretty much done, and here's all the code that you would need to create this app, which is absolutely mind-blowing that it codes it all out for you. So again, you don't just take this and put this on your portfolio, you actually code it along, figure out how it works, and then you have a cool task manager app. But let's say, first task of the day, we'll have brush teeth. And we'll give that a medium priority task. We'll add it. There we go. Brush teeth, medium, to do, in progress. We'll say that's in progress. I don't know, the buttons aren't working here. But then we'll add a new one. We'll have walk the dog. And this is a high priority because if we don't do that, the dog gets angry. And look at that, walk dog. But maybe we forgot we have 2 dogs. So we'll just say walk dogs. There we go, walk dogs. And then the most important meal of the day, that's what they say. We're gonna eat breakfast, but that's kind of a low priority because it's not really, if you don't not eat breakfast in many countries, you'll be fine. But there we go, we have a few tasks. What happens if we click done? Nothing's happening here. Could also be my browser that I'm using, and we can delete the tasks too. How cool is that? We just created a real live app. We could post that on our portfolio website that we created a couple tasks back, and we have some pretty cool stuff. So far, that is 3 apps we've created: a personal portfolio website, API integration project, and a task manager. Now, the next few may be a bit more complicated, but let's see what V0 can do. It may turn out something great, it may turn out something not great. I haven't actually tested this before making the video. So, full stack application, e-commerce store. Build a simple e-commerce store with features like product listing, cart functionality, and checkout. Include a backend to manage user authentication, product management, and order processing. Let's see what V0 does with this. Should be exciting. Again, V0 is thinking, but it definitely doesn't take long. Oh, they'll use Next.js app router, which will include both front-end and back-end functionality. Use Prisma for database management and NextAuth for authentication. Holy cow. So they break down the whole project for you, telling you how to start the project, install Prisma and everything like that, create the schemas, and wow, continuing. I wonder if it's going to give us a preview. It is quite incredible that it can just print out all this code for you. And generally it works, and it's specific for Next.js. So if you're looking to learn Next.js, which is a React framework, And pretty much most of the companies out there are using React or Next.js. Well, then this is probably one of the best ways to learn it, because you can have a specific AI that's going to help give you all the information you need. And then, yeah. So unfortunately, this one does not give us a preview, but this is one where it does walk you step by step through the project. So this would be a good learning experience to just follow these and see if you can follow along and see what it does create for you. Because you'll be creating a front end and a back end for this one, getting a bit more experience, and then seeing if it works and seeing if for some reason it doesn't work, if it doesn't work because there was an issue with what V0 came out with, or if there's an issue with something that you did. And on top of that, you can then go and change this to have something that you want specific for you. But pretty cool project that you can get from V0, which brings us to the last one, a responsive multi-page website. Create a fully responsive website for a fictitious company or personal blog. The site should include multiple pages, home, about, services, contact, and demonstrate adaptability across different devices and screen sizes. So again, this will be interesting because generally with a lot of these Next projects, they're single page apps, but a multi-page website, let's see what it does and see what kind of craziness this brings about. So we'll just plop that in there. Create a fully responsive website for a fictitious company called Ecotech Solutions. It specializes in eco-friendly tech solutions, includes multiple pages, and demonstrates adaptability across different devices and screen sizes. So you can see this is the layout.js, which gives us an idea of some of the navigation there between the different pages, home, about, services, contact. If we take a look at the different pages, nothing special. I forgot to write eye-catching. See, if you don't write eye-catching, you get these plain Jane websites. And that is the issue. Let's see if we stop this. Can we edit this? Create an eye-catching fully responsive website. Let's try again V0. Okay, it says it's going to do the same thing. It does not include eye-catching in here. So hopefully, here's just the layout.js again. Hopefully we'll get something a bit, this already looks a little bit nicer. Hang on, while it's writing, sometimes you run into errors. Empowering businesses for a greener future. This is the home page. Learn about the different services. Why choose Ecotech Solutions. Contact, ready to go green. We have the about page here that it's writing. So about gives you the picture, the story. This stuff's pretty incredible. Values. And sometimes the reason we're seeing these errors is sometimes the app breaks as it's coding it. And so we're just seeing those errors as it's coding it alongside here. And then once it's done breaking the app, it ends up working. They have their impact. Pretty rad. We also have the services page, which we've seen before. Why choose our services, ready to go green, get a free consultation. And finally, create the contact page. You can even see errors down here on the bottom. Leaf is not defined. You can fix it with V0. It's like having a coding buddy that kind of knows what they're doing most of the time. Sometimes they can screw up pretty big, but they have their contact page here. And it looks, I would say, we would call this eye-catching. Pretty cool website. Well done, V0. And that pretty much nails it for all of these suggestions from ChatGPT. We created a personal portfolio website, an API integration project, an interactive web app, a full stack app, and a responsive multi-page website. And we did it all using V0's awesome new AI for Next.js. So if you did enjoy this, try it for yourself. Also, come join us on Code Noobs. Put a link down in the description. You can just click on that, join our group, free group on Facebook, and join a group of a bunch of enthusiastic coders who build projects together and get real work together. So that's all for this episode. I'm Randall. If you enjoyed that, like the video, share it with friends and family, play around with V0, because the sooner you can learn this stuff, the better you will be. And we'll see you later. Have a good one. Peace.